Oh, well, hello. I didn't see you come in. Sorry that I wasn't ready for you to come in, but I'm glad you're here anyway. I want to take a few minutes of your time to sum up what and where I am right now according to UDL principles. Unfortunately, I could not be there face to face with you to share this. So, in the spirit of multiple means of representation, not only am I videoing this with you and I can show it to you, but I will also transcribe it for those who don't like the visual but would rather read it, and I can have that to you quite soon. And also, if you want the recording, I can also record this. So I'm all about multiple representation of myself. Anyway, to kind of sum up where I am, I received so far basically most of what I wanted for my UDL grant. The main focus of my grant were tablet PCs for my students to use. I was able to get 5 refurbished tablet PCs to use in my classes, in my resource classes in math. It has so far done wonders. My purpose of it was to allow the students to use the competency that they have with technology in the classroom where usually they don't find many competencies. They're very familiar with the uses of a computer. They're very understanding of how to get certain places, but yet when you sit them down on a desk, give them pencil and paper or a book, especially the students that I work with, that is really a block for their success. They focus too much on what they're not able to do, which then gets in the way of me being able to see what they can do and going from there. So the main focus of these last couple months with UDL with me is getting the students to use on a regular basis the tablet PCs. And not just so that people can come in my room and see them working on a computer, but to allow them to use the computer to facilitate their learning in a way that they weren't able to do beforehand. For example, in both of my classes, I've now started a reflective journal. They get on the tablet computer, they have a running log on a Word document, and they reflect various questions each day. A couple of benefits from that, I'm able to then copy and print out the reflective journals. All my students can type. Very few of them can write well. So having the ability to type has allowed them to express themselves a lot better than having to worry about, I can't read my writing, and then I can read what they say and not have to worry about reading their writing as well. So that has really helped. They can express their thoughts. I've also introduced them to their webmail. You know, it's surprising. This is the first time they've ever heard or anybody's told them that they actually have a Jefferson County email address. So I've been trying to work with them in using that email address to send me their journals, and then I will send it back once I comment on them. We're kind of on the very first steps of that process and getting their logins and passwords and familiar with the whole setup. But that is also something that's helped me communicate with my students and also hopefully my students' parents or guardians. Very fortunate with the CMP2 curriculum is all digitized. So I have loaded all the information, all their textbooks, their math workbook onto their tablet PC. They've created their own folders. They do all their work following along what I do on the computer with their tablet PCs. They're able to write notes in the margin, highlight words. They can manipulate the text to make it bigger to smaller. They can erase, they can write. They really enjoy that aspect. Another very exciting thing is that when I save their work, we've been working with ILPs this year. My next step with this class, I want them to be able to load it onto their ILPs so they can have that storage as they go into high school. They can see the work that they put in. They can see the finished product. It's a way to store their own portfolios, so to speak, so then they can show the people and the different places they go as they continue on through education. The kids love it. They like the tactile, the keyboard, they like working with the pens, but more important, it allows their engagement to, it has really changed. They are so much more engaging in my classroom. And I always thought before that my classroom was engaging, but allowing them, again, this tool to take what they've learned and what they're able to do well, which is technology, and then use it in a format of classroom work, math, it has really blown the roof of their excitement. They can't wait to come in. They can't wait to see what they do. Plus, able to use the internet for their own reflective searches for topics. My second class, which you'll see in just a few minutes, is a little bit higher functioning students than that first class I was discussing earlier. They're able to take a concept, I can give them a concept. They're able to search that concept and provide specific examples of that concept from educational sites or informational sites on the internet. They use some different resourcing and formatting, and then they can present it back to me in a way that is unique to them. They've created something, but also it fulfills the requirements of information. One specific way I've used that, instead of having them write down the vocabulary at the beginning of each section like they were accustomed to, I now have them create a PowerPoint vocabulary slideshow. So I will give them the rubric, I'll give them the words they need to look up, and then it's their job to create those words. They get the basic point credit for the word, the definition, but then I can increase their point values based on the creativity. Can they find clip art that has to do with this specific word or concept? Can they then format their slides in different ways to allow their creativity to come through? And it's really been exciting to see the work, their finished products they're excited about.